Want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the breaking news Tony Hollis live talk show Testify. I'm sorry that I'm late getting started, but you all had something to do with it, okay? You had my phone and my text messages just blowing up all day, and so that kept me behind. I didn't want to be rude. I tried to speak to a few of you, but I saw that I was losing time, and so I had to cut it loose. But anyway, um, I do have some breaking news. I'm hoping that I was trying to get my sound system set up for some of you all who may want to call in. I'm looking down right now to make sure that I got everything set up. So you all forgive me for looking down. But I was trying to make sure that I had everything set up and ready to go for you all today. But unfortunately, uh, I had some hiccups there with my audio system. And so, for that reason alone, if you all can't hear me, just wave your hand or give me a call because I'm probably done missed turning on something. So, if you can't hear me, I want to say that you also can call in. Let me get my guest contact number here where I can push it over for you all. All right. That's my contact information there. Let me get the banner out of the way where you can see it. Okay. But that is my contact information there. If you want to call in to the show, you can call in to the show. That'll be 870-740-1515 when we get to the comment section, that is, okay? You also can inbox messenger me if you have any thing to say. But right now, we're working with the 1515 number, or you can post your comments in the comment section, okay? But the breaking news that I wanted to bring to you all happened to be that I believe there's some news that may satisfy the community um, today, or not today, but at some time going forward, that there may be a positive outcome into the alleged. I don't really want to say the alleged because it'd be like trust not your lying eyes. But we did see the slap, okay? But the news media is calling it alleged slap, okay? And so, but there may be some information this week. You know, I don't think this thing is going to linger for 2, 3 weeks down the road. And you know me, I always like to try to get my facts together, make calls, or what have you. But there may be a positive resolution coming that may satisfy the public. What am I saying? I'm saying that there's a possibility that, um, the police chief uh, time as chief of police may be short lived. Let me just say that may be short lived. Now, I don't have any factual confirmation, or shall I say confirmation, that the chief is terminated. But you know me, I always dig until I can speak, get some information, documentation that will show that the chief um probably have had a short stay as police chief. Okay, and so again, that's what we want to talk about today. Um, do you believe that the slap by the chief of police that it was necessary? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. But we also have a bigger problem here. Um as I say, I'm putting it back on the screen. It's possible that the police chief, as you can see, let me raise that up a little bit. As you can see, that the police chief, it's possible that the chief of police uh, job may have come to a uh, an ending. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and show the video that's been circulating in the community. We're gonna look at that for a minute, and we're gonna come back. I'm gonna allow you all to go ahead and chime in and give your comments. Okay, so let's do that now. Let's get it going. Don't know why it's not playing, you all. It should be playing. Uh, let's try something else here. Let's try something else here. I guess they took it down. Video should be playing. Well, let's go over here and let me go over here and try something else here. But the video should be playing. I got it saved somewhere again over here, so let me go over here and find it. Okay. Had everything set up and ready to go, and now we have these problems. Okay. So let me don't know where that video at. It seemed like someone done I'm hoping they hadn't removed it, the video. So let me go back in here and let me go over here to the Facebook page and see if I can pull up someone else's video to where we can go ahead and play it, okay? So give me just a second here. And we're going to pull it up. Okay. And we're going to pull it up. I think this is one that we can play. At least we're going to see if it'll play. Okay. And I think this is one that we can play. So let's go back over here and go ahead and pull it up now. Okay. I think we found the video, y'all. So we're finna go ahead and play it now. All right. We can get some volume here.
That right there is why you're going to go to jail. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm talking to you too.
Oh my God, you can't do that. 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 You can't slap nobody. Oh my God.
Okay, we're gonna show it again, y'all. I might want to. Okay, now you did hear the young man say, "Don't effing touch me." Okay, don't effing touch me, and it's clear that Chief Eflin did not like the profanity. I mean, it's speech what the chief didn't like. And you can hear him say that you're not going to talk to me like that, or something to that effect. So listen.
Here's why you're going to go to jail. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm talking to you too.
Oh my God.
Now, I want to pause it here. Now, after the slap, the chief succeed in grabbing this young man who's in a wheelchair and looked like he placing him in a chokehold. Okay? And we all know, goes back to George Floyd. Why do officers always want to grab a person's neck? Clearly, there is no case here to where this guy is combative or whatever. His only weapon that is considered to be a weapon is his speech, which is his First Amendment right. Okay? So as you can see, I wish I could blow that up a little bit more, but I can't. But it's clear that he has his arm, or he's attempting to put his arm around this young man's neck. And I think at some point, Officer, shall I say, Chief Eflin, he understood, what the heck am I doing? Putting a man who's disabled, confined to a wheelchair, what am I doing putting him in a chokehold? And you can see he will bag off and walk off. So let's start it back up. He will bag up and walk off.
Can't do that! You 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 can't
Right there, he walks off. He realized what he has done. He walks off. Okay?
do that! You can't slap nobody! Oh my God!
One more time, you all, and we're gonna get off into the discussion, and I'll let you go. Okay?
That right there is why you're gonna go to jail. You're not gonna talk to me like that. I'm talking to you too.
Oh my God, you can't do that! 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 You can't slap nobody! Oh my God!
Okay. So, that actually is what happened. Okay, that is actually what happened. This young man, he was actually it is an assault. I mean, physical assault. It's not just an assault; it's a physical assault. And so that's what we're looking at here now. I'm sure that is what the review. They calling it a review as opposed to an investigation. They calling it a review. Okay, this is a outside independent agency that will be coming in, according to Mary Jo Harris, that will be conducting this review. Okay, and so, but we'd like to know. I don't seem like I don't have my comment section on, so I want you all to forgive me for that. So I won't be able to put your comments on the screen. I like putting your comments on the screen. But that is what is happening. But the biggest issue here really is not so much, if anything will be done. We know that an investigation is going on. But the bigger problem that is, for those of you who just tuning in, as I stated, the breaking news is it's possible that the new chief of police, Bobby Eflin, may be terminated. Okay, he may be terminated. However, it has not been confirmed. Now, I want to say this here, and please listen. I don't want you all to say that Tony Holler said Mary Jo Harris said this and Mary Jo Harris said that. Now, I did have a conversation with Mary Jo Harris today. Okay, I did have a conversation with Mary Jo Harris today. It was a very serious conversation that we had. We talked it for a minute, okay? I mean, we talked it for a good little minute. And from me speaking with Jo Harris, I'm a pretty good listener, and I can pretty much get a good feel as to how something is going to go one way or the other. I don't have any substantial proof, but in speaking with Mary Jo Harris today, I think I feel comfortable saying this, that Mary Jo Harris, I believe in this particular case, one thing that he and I both agree on is that the video speaks for itself, okay? The video that's been in circulation, that has been seen by thousands of viewers, I mean thousands, okay? the video speaks for itself. And Mara Harris, Mara Joe Harris, we are both in agreement that the video speak for itself. That's why I'm feeling pretty comfortable, along with a few other things that I've been checking out. I feel pretty comfortable to say to you that I believe that Meryl Joe Harris is gonna do the right thing. And so what do I mean? I think that the new police chief, Mr. Bobby Eflin, I think his time as chief of police for the Osceola Police Department, uh, I want to say that it's short lived. Okay, I want to say that it's short lived. And so, up on that, if there's any questions, I don't know if I can put the questions on my. I don't see any questions over here. I think I don't have my question banner turned on. Normally, I have to turn my banner on, so I want to apologize for that. But we're gonna allow you all. You can call me again. Let me put that contact information up there again. That is the contact information if you would like to call in to the show and give your comments. 870-740-1515. I will have that phone services set up probably when I crank my show back up. I'm not actually officially cranked up yet. I still got some debugging to do with my audio system. But let's try this number for right now, working with the cell phone to my speaker. That is 870-740-1515. You can give me a call, and I'll allow you to go ahead and share your comments. Asking that you please try to hold your comments to 3 minutes. But I will be a little bit more patient if, I think that you need more time, okay? And so, again, I want to say it's possible that the new chief of police may be terminated. And I don't think it's going to be, weeks. Definitely not going to be months, but I don't think it's going to be weeks based on just my feel in speaking with the mayor today. I think the mayor, listening to him today, he did sound very sincere that he's taking this matter serious. What happened to this gentleman who has a disability, confined to a wheelchair, and regardless of what you think or feel about Mayor Harris in the past or now, me speaking with him today, I really do believe Mayor Harris is going to do the right thing. Okay, so if you want to protest, you can, or whatever other things you want to do, you can. I'm certainly not trying to tell you not to do that, but I think you will be pleased that either sometime this week and definitely early part of next week at the latest. But I'm saying this week, I'm thinking that the mayor may make a decision, in terms of, letting this chief go. It hadn't been confirmed. So y'all hear me good. It hadn't been confirmed. I'm not saying that Mayor Harris shared it with me, just based on the conversation he and I had. I got a good feeling that the time of Mr. Bobby Eflin serving as chief of police for the Osceola Police Department, I think it is short-lived. It has come to an ending, or will come to an ending, okay? And so, again, I'm not going to be here long. I'm looking on my phone because I don't have my banner turned on where I can take your comments. And so if I don't get any comments, I know you all was looking for me to come on earlier. But like I say, I was so busy today, and I didn't have an opportunity to set my things up right because of my audio system there. So I'm looking at my phone right now to see if I can see if there's any comment, uh, what have you, and I don't see anything. So until I see some comments, let me go over here to my banner, and I want to say, regardless of what will be done uh, in terms of this um, investigation that not investigation review, independent review that will be conducted. I want to say that independent review uh, may be somewhat conducted through the office of the prosecuting attorney, second of the second judicial district. That's what I'm thinking, and so hopefully um they will go ahead and inform the public of what facts they have discovered, and I don't know if they will make a recommendation or what, but certainly there may be some criminal charges may be looked at. I know that there are some civil and some constitutional violations here, civil and constitutional rights. What I'm saying, you know, um, some may be state offenses as well as federal offenses. Why do I say federal? Because of the what is it the Disability Act. There's laws that protect people with disability. So this could be a federal issue as well. That's only if charges are filed. Okay, uh, and it could be civil. But this gentleman who has a disability, I think there may be some federal violations as well as some state violations of this man uh, civil rights being violated. Okay, and so and I want to say this here. Uh, Many of you think that uh, the only way that something can happen to the police chief in terms of him losing his job is that first the investigation, uh, independent review, excuse me, the independent review must first uh, go ahead and be completed. I wouldn't think so. It's because you got two different things that's going on here. First of all, you got an independent review that's going on. That more than likely will be conducted through the district prosecutor office. But at the same time, you have the mayor who supervises police and fire. If the mayor determines that there has been some policy violations, okay, policy violations in terms of training, the training wasn't properly carried out. What do I mean? I mean, did the police officers that was on scene, did they uh, use their training in terms of de-escalating the situation? Was that training uh, uh, kicked in? Was it carried out? You know, did they yield to their training in terms of de-escalation? De-escalate the situation and don't make it worse. Okay. Uh, Certainly, as I say, the video speak for itself. Uh, it appears that there was not any officers on the scene that tried to de-escalate the situation. Now, I will say initially, Chief Chief Eflin, he did explain to the gentleman why he was there. I think it had something to do with a fight. He might have mentioned something about guns, things of that nature. And at the same time, it's almost like he was demanding that the guy speak in a certain tone and not use foul language. We're talking about free speech now. And so uh, when I guess the gentleman continued to exercise his free speech in whatever form or manner that he thought that he had a right to do so, which he does, uh, evidently that somewhat agitated the chief. And you could see the chief pointing his finger at the gentleman, sort of encroaching or invading his private space. until, as the young man stated, when someone encroach upon your space, your private space, and they get so close to you, you're either gonna push them away, or if they got their hand in your face, you're gonna knock it down, because that is disrespectful. When you put your finger in someone's face, it's like you're trying to almost touching the nose or the lips, and so that is disrespectful. And so I'm thinking that um, that's what the chief is calling a hit, is when the young man sort of, like he says, kind of like a little swipe move a person's uh, uh, hand away from your face. Okay. And so that's basically what that is. I got my camera trying to move that. So you see me hold my hand up. I'm trying to get my camera. I got an automatic camera. I'm trying to get it to stop moving. There we go. It's back stable now. Uh, but anyway, this chief actually can be reassigned, demoted, or terminated, regardless of what comes out of the uh, independent review. There's two different things here: policies, where they follow, and the independent review that is being conducted by uh, the district prosecutor. Now, again, I'm still looking at my board. I don't see any questions, and so I will be shutting this down in just a little bit. But we're going to talk about two or three other little topics, and then we're going to get out of here. Okay? Uh, let me go up here. There was something else that I wanted to speak about as it relates to this situation that went on, uh, and I'm not finding it. Let me go up here and find these questions. Okay, and this is another one that we can look at. Mayor Harrison has called for an independent review, for the sake of fairness and transparency. I think I mentioned that. Uh, let's talk about this here. What about the police culture itself? Okay, what about the police culture itself? I mean, I think it's fair to say that, in the past 3 years, if not 5 years, we have seen, uh, if we look at race, we have seen where you have had black cops just as well violate the Constitution and civil rights of black people. It's not just white police officers, it's black police officers as well. And that's what we have to look at, the overall police culture. Is this something that they all take a pledge to? That you black, that you white, or whatever. Do they take a pledge to the police culture when they go out, supposedly to be protecting and serving the community? All right. Is it a police culture thing in terms of when we start hearing about these uh, this misconduct? Okay. And I want to say the reason I asked that, just in Osceola, Arkansas, again, I got a video of a gentleman who was arrested, allegedly up under the suspicions of uh, uh, selling drugs. Upon them arresting him, at some point or another, he complaining about injuries. I don't know if it was his back or what, but he was in a lot. He appeared to be in a lot of pain, and he was moaning, groaning, hollering, or whatever. But nevertheless, the police officer, and this is a black police officer, not a white police officer. This is a black police officer from Osceola. Cursed him out, using profanity, yanking on him, while at the same time he's telling this police officer that his back is hurting. I think that he's in pain. But the police officer continued to use foul language, yanking on him, and practically drug him inside the police department down the floor. And if I'm not mistaken, he was in handcuffs. And so, again, this is a police cultural thing. It's not just white police officers committing this misconduct, but also you have black police officers that commit some of these same infractions or misconduct. Okay, So it's a police culture that we got to look at. All right. So hiring more black police officers is not going to solve the problem if you still or if they still have that mindset that, they got to operate within the blue code. You know, anything within the blue code they support. They even may go to the point to where they are secret about certain things that happen within the police culture. All right. So it's a police culture type thing. All right. And so the last thing that I want to talk about, other than the police culture, I want to talk about a duty to intervene. There was police officers standing out there, okay, standing around, and through training, when we start talking about the duty to intervene, through training, whenever a police officer is looking on and seeing that their fellow police officer pretty much have crossed the line in terms of um, how he or she was trained to do their job, in terms of the do's and the don'ts. Whenever a police officer, any particular police officer, see that the officer is doing something that is in conflict with his or her training, they supposedly to intervene. If that don't happen, then that police officer who is looking on, knowing that what this officer is doing goes against policy, in some cases may be illegal, may be against the law, then that police officer should say something. If that police officer do not say anything, and just look and want to just be mute, maybe even give a false narrative in his report, then that police officer also may face some type of disciplinary procedures. All right. So officers do have a duty uh, to intervene. All right. And I don't think I have any more things up here. But again, it's one thing that I will say. Um, you be the judge, agree or disagree on the termination of your last police chief. I did have uh, a poll that I took. I hadn't collected those numbers yet, but again, um, as I close, I want to be clear to let you all know that the chief stated to this young man, "You're not gonna talk to me like that." All right. I think the chief was upset with his speech in terms of cursing, uh, um, you know, using language that I guess the chief thought uh, that wasn't appropriate. Although it is a his First Amendment right, the chief thought that the uh, his language that he was using it was inappropriate. So therefore, out of agitation, the chief reacted and he physically uh, laid hands on this young man, which is considered to be a physical assault. Now, I don't know if that will be considered in whatever review that they're doing, but again, in closing, I will say that I believe that the chief of police, I think his time as police chief uh, will come to an end probably before this week is out. I really do believe that the chief, based on his conduct, misconduct, I really do believe uh, his time uh, has ended. And I want to say this here before I close. I was not so much against uh, the hiring of Bobby Eflin, Chief Bobby Eflin. The reason that I was not against the hiring, or the reason that I was sort of quiet, mute on the question about whether or not it was a good thing that uh, Mayor Harris hired Joe, I mean, hired, excuse me, hired Mr. Eflin, Chief Eflin. Um, the reason that I wasn't too much concerned is because I am sick and tired of black folks killing black folks. I know some may say, well, white folks kill white folks too. Well, let white folks be concerned. Not the fact that I'm not concerned with white deaths as well, but, we already fearing numbers, you know, and we already know that if we're trying to obtain or build something or have something, for the most part, it requires unity, okay? It requires us coming together, working together. And if we continue to kill each other off in the numbers that we're killing each other off, it's not going to be very many of us left. And so, yes, uh, I thought that bringing on Bobby Eflin, if nothing else, would put fear into these little young guys' minds who out there committing uh, these crimes. It need to stop. There need to be some sense of safety instilled or restored to the community. All right, and if I thought that Bobby would be the person to instill fear into some of these folks who, uh, have a willingness to want to continue to commit crime, then yeah, that's why I stood on the sideline and I didn't care about Chief Eflin being appointed chief. But I certainly did not want him uh, to do his job in the manner as we all saw that video, which is, uh, violate someone's rights when it comes to speech. That was uncalled for. Um, I think Chief Eflin, if he have a conscience, which I think he does, I think that even he would agree I overreacted. I should not have done that. I should not have placed hands on this young man, a person who was no threat to me. Why? He's in a wheelchair. He's disabled. And to compound the situation even worse, I think Chief will agree. Why did you just walk away? You placed this man, this black man, you placed him in a chokehold. A man with a disability, you placed him in a chokehold. And thank God you realized what you was doing because you walked off. I mean, it's almost like you had this temporary insanity and you came back. And it's almost like you even question yourself, what the hell am I doing? I got a man who's in a wheelchair, who has a disability. I have him in a chokehold. What the hell am I doing? And you walked off. So that's a good thing that you came to your senses. You realized that putting this man in a chokehold was not necessary, nor laying hands on him, slapping him for his speech was not necessary. Uh, so that's pretty much all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Again, uh, I ran this as breaking news is because I just want the public, not the fact that I'm thinking that the public is going to do something crazy. There's always that thought out there, they going to riot, they going to protest, and protesting is good. And I want to say that you protesting, you're speaking up right now, letting your city officials, letting your mayor know that this misconduct was wrong by the police chief. That's why I'm telling you now, based on your protesting, okay, based on your advocacy, those of you who are advocating like I am against police misconduct, because of all the individuals that play a part uh, in the judicial process, uh, protesting, doing whatever it need to be done to create awareness, bringing community awareness to some of the injustices that we see, on a day-to-day basis. Because of your voice, I feel good is saying this, that I do believe that the chief, new chief that is, Bobby Eflin, I do believe that his time as police chief has ended to nobody's fault but his own. And as I stated, I was hoping that he did well in terms of restoring some sense of safety back to the community. But unfortunately, we are where we are right now. But anyway, that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see anything for as any questions or anything like that because I don't have uh, my comment section on. I got to get better on that too. I don't know why it don't work sometimes, and sometimes it don't. But again, if you have any questions, anytime you may want to be on to my talk show or whatever, as I say, please contact me. Leave a message. That is my uh, contact there, telephone number for my show. That's not my primary number. So if you ever call and you shoot a message or you call and I don't get back with you in a decent time, it's only because I only check that phone mornings and probably before I go to bed. In some cases, if I'm just thinking about it, I may check it in the middle of the day. But it's two times that I will check that phone if for any messages. My phone I use for the show. It was mornings and right before I go to bed. Okay? That contact is 870-740-1515, or you can inbox or messenger me. Okay? And so you can do that. And I do want to say, also, I'd like for you all to please do jump over to my YouTube channel and you can subscribe there on my YouTube channel. Help me get my numbers up. All right, and hopefully we'll see each other next week. Okay, and so that's pretty much all I have, ladies and gentlemen, to come to with you all on today. I don't have nothing else to talk to you all about. And so I want to say, may you all have a blessed remaining night. Okay? Peace and love. May God bless. And may God keep you all until we see each other again. All right? God bless. And we'll see you when we see you. Trying to turn this thing off now. Bye bye.